Okay, today we're going to talk about finding the distance between 2 points. Another word that you might sometimes see instead of distance is length. By the end of this video, you will understand how to use this formula. Again, make sure that you take out a piece of loose leaf paper if you chose not to print out the blank copy of this presentation. So, there's a couple of different methods to find distance. When the lines are horizontal, meaning left to right, or vertical, meaning up or down, we can cheat by just counting boxes. So if I look at line segment AB, over here, I can cheat by counting boxes because it is a horizontal line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the distance of AB equals 7. If I look at line segment CD over here, again, that is a vertical line. So again, we can count boxes. 1, 2, 3. So the distance of CD is 3. This method does not work for diagonal lines. I cannot count diagonal boxes on a piece of graph paper. So, if we wanted to, if you have graph paper handy, for the diagonal one, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. If I take that diagonal that we had on the last slide and I turn it into a right triangle by tracing here to here, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, that's 3 boxes. If I plug that into the Pythagorean theorem, I can do 4 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. That means we'll call the hypotenuse x. That becomes 16 plus 9 equals x squared. If I add 16 and 9 on my calculator, I get 25. Hopefully you guys remember to get rid of a squared, we square root it. So that tells me x is 5. So this distance is 5. Another option, when you have a diagonal, and this is the option we are going to use a lot in this class, is we're going to use the distance formula. To use the distance formula, what we're going to do is take our 2 points here, 1, -1. We're going to call that x1, y1, meaning x value of the first point, y value of the first point, and 4, -5, and that's going to be our x2, y2 values. It does not matter which point you call point 1 and which point you call point 2. So then what we're going to do is write out the distance formula, and we are going to plug in those values. x2 is 4. x1 is 1. y2 is -5. y1 is -1. Now, if you are comfortable in your algebra skills, you can just do the math either in your calculator or in your head. 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 squared plus, I personally, when I see a minus, I keep change. So -5 plus 1 is -4 squared. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. If you do not like to write things out fully, you can skip these 2 steps here. If you very carefully type this in the calculator without the square root button. When you type it in the calculator, it will give you this. So it will save you two lines of work if you want. So we have to realize if 2 line segments have the same distance, what do you know about them? So if I tell you that this line segment has a distance of 4, and I tell you this line segment here has a distance of 4, we can say that they are congruent. We're going to use this when we do proofs. Okay, let's practice one. It says find the length of a line segment connecting the points -2, -3, and -4, 4. The first thing that I would recommend is labeling the values in those points. So this here, this is going to be x1, y1, meaning the first point, the x and the y value. This is going to be x2 and y2, meaning the second point, the x and the y value. Then we're going to write down the distance formula. So my distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Now we're going to fill in our values. My x2 value is -4. My x1 is -2. My y2 value is 4, and my y1 value is -3. If you want, at this point, you can plug just what I'm circling in blue in the calculator, so no square root button, and it will give you an answer. If you wanted to do it by hand, I would do keep, change, change. So this would be -2 squared plus, here in the second one, second set of parentheses, keep, change, change. So that becomes 7 squared. This becomes 4. This becomes 49. So we get radical 53. If you chose to use the calculator, be very careful. You want your parentheses, you want to use the exponents, and you should have gotten 53. Don't forget to put the square root sign because it is the square root of 53. And if you just wrote 53, that's different because the square root of 53 is technically 7.28. So if the question said in simplest radical form, you need this. If it said to the nearest 10th, you would write 7.3. Okay, last one. Again, if we look at this question, it says find the length. When you see the word length, I need you to think distance. When you think distance, I need you to think distance formula. So we want to make sure that we write it down. It's x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Again, I would recommend labeling your points. x1, y1, meaning 0.1 x and y value. x2, y2, meaning 0.2 x and y value. Now we're going to plug those numbers into our formula. So this becomes -1 minus 2 squared plus -2 minus -3 squared. Again, you can type this into your calculator without the square root sign. And if you wanted to do it that way, you can skip a step or two. I personally like to do it by hand. -1, I keep, change, change. So keep, change, change. That becomes -3 squared. Again, keep, change, change. That becomes 1 squared. So this becomes 9 plus 1, which is radical 10. Again, this question doesn't specify whether it wants simplest radical form or if it wants to the nearest 10th. So radical 10 would be a good answer. If you type that in the calculator, you could get 3.16 would be 3.2. That's to the nearest 10th. It's a bad 3. This is in simplest radical form. So make sure you read the question to figure out which way they want the answer given. Again, if you have questions, please write them down, email me, let me know when you see me in class.